The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parx Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. Danny Gibson and Dick Girardi here on the Parx Racing third floor studio, and it is Breeders' Cup Day. It's at beautiful Keeneland in Lexington, Kentucky. The very talked about undefeated Flightline will run in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and 2 Parx horses will take their spot in the starting gate in the dirt mile. That's Informative and Simplification. We'll talk about them later in the show, but all eyes on the Breeders' Cup Classic, Flightline. Do you think he's a cinch?
I think he's a cinch, Danny. I've watched his works. I've watched his gallops. I've watched the videos of all of his races. He's as close to a cinch as you can get in this sport. But having said that, this is a really good field he's in against. It's going to be the first time where he's going to have to chase a really good horse like Life is Good. He's just outside of him, which was a good post position draw, I thought, for Flightline. You got horses like Taba, who can close, the PA Derby winner, Epicenter can close. Hot Rod Charlie and Olympiad are going to be sitting just to the outside. You got the Kentucky Derby winner. It's a sensational field, but I just think Flightline's at another level from all other horses running in the US of A right now.
Well, we've gotten to see all the coverage from Keeneland this week, and certainly John Sadler couldn't be happier how he's training.
Correct.
He just looks like a horse that's really thriving.
He does, and all of his works, and again, I've watched every single one of them from the Pacific Classic to now, and I haven't seen any holes in him. Gary Young, the great clocker who predicted American Pharoah's Triple Crown prior to the Kentucky Derby, said his last work in California was the best workout he has ever seen.
Well, Flightline, a horse of a lifetime for sure. And we have a lot more with the contenders, and let's start with the connections of Flightline.
This being the final tune-up, obviously he's done his heavy lifting out in California, so what were you looking for from the horse today?
Just to look happy around the track, you know, get one work over it, get him good and settled this week. That's why we came a little early, and he went very well. We're just what we wanted to do. Like I said, he's had plenty of work in California, so it wasn't about going fast today. It was just about cruising around there. First of all, I respect every horse in the race. It's a top-class field of horses, really good horses. You have the ascending 3-year-olds. You have the older horses that are, you know, really good horses. So it's, you know, it's a very good race. We don't take anything for granted. We don't take any of our competition for granted.
We know, after being around the business for as long as we all have, that they have to run, and you know, we are not downplaying the fact that every one of them is a Grade 1 winner, and every one of them, you know, has earned the right to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So when you look at the totality of that, you know, they're just not going to give this thing to us on a silver platter. We're going to have to earn it, and quite frankly, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Very talented. I mean, Flightline's got just tremendous speed, particularly away from the gate. I mean, he's the kind of horse that puts 2 or 3 lengths on him right away, and you know what I mean. If a horse has trouble picking up the chase, I mean, he can get a breather on the front end and go on. I'm a fan, and I love watching these kind of races. You know, you try to imagine what the outcome is going to be and how it's going to shape up. And, you know, I see, you know, Life is Good jumping out in front, and Flightline getting his legs together after about a 1/16 of a mile, and, you know, probably laying right on him, right on his hip if he can, and so it should be very interesting. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. Our horse hopefully will be, you know, up in the running, and hopefully we finish up good.
As a racing fan, I'm like everyone else. You know, it's a very, very exciting race, and we have a tremendous respect for Flightline and, you know, everything that he's accomplished, and at the same time, we love Life is Good, so we're excited about it.
Flightline, as we've seen firsthand, he's just a very, very special horse, to say the least. He's done nothing but run freakish performances each race. Saw him train the other day, and he broke off kind of slow and then picked it up and galloped out like a wonderful horse that he is. So he's obviously, you know, it's his race. And we just got to hope for some reason maybe gets caught up in a speed duel or whatever can happen in it within a race, right? And but we're optimistic that Hot Rod Charlie's going to show up and run his race. Whether it's good enough, we'll see. But Hot Rod Charlie's doing really well coming into it.
He's been a obviously talented and well-respected 3-year-old all year. Some valiant efforts without wins in the Derby and in the Preakness, but he has definitely put it all together in the Jim Dandy and the Travers, and I think he's had plenty of solid runs this year. Feel great about him coming into the Breeders' Cup fresh and sharp, and he's run excellent to this point, and all we expect him to do is to run even better.
My gosh, when I looked at Olympiad's form a couple weeks ago, I'm like, this horse would be the favorite probably if Flightline wasn't in there, or at least co-favorite with Life is Good. So I think it's probably a solid group, as you'll see, top to bottom. And there's plenty of pace. There's plenty of horses that lay close to the pace, and then there's some of us that are going to be, back off the pace. And it's going to be a tactical race, I think, unless Flightline just does what he does every time and destroys everybody by the half-mile pole. And then it'll be interesting to see who wants to keep going after they realize they can't win.
Well, it has to be exciting even to get in the starting gate at the Breeders' Cup. That's a feat in itself.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, these horses have won over a combined $20 million, grade ones all over the place, Derby winners. I mean, it's such a cool field, and to see Flightline, to see what he can do with the anticipation is building, Danny.
Well, we're all excited to watch, and of course we're going to talk more about the Breeders' Cup later in the show. And if you couldn't get out to Keeneland, come to Parks. We're going to be open. Our simulcast will be open, and you can cash lots of tickets here.
Yes, you can, and you should.
And you should, and you will. Well, let's get to some Parks racing. We're going to take a look at Monday's 9th race from last week. It was for $25,000 claiming horses, going 2 turns, 1 mile and 70 yards, $30,000 purse, and Splice the Main Brace is our favorite for trainer Richie Vega.
Right, claimed out of the last race by Richie Vega and our buddy Dr. Steve Appel and Wire to Wire Stables.
Southern Bridge takes second choice for Jamie Ness with Ruben Silvera.
Yeah, Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera. Do they win many races here together, Danny, to your knowledge?
Yes, they do. I can say that with a good affirmation. Well, let's get to Chris Griffin with our local race of the week.
They work around this turn. Distract and Attack is in front, is in command, is up by 1.5 lengths, 23-4 for that honest opening quarter here for Distract and Attack to the backstretch. Abuelo Nuno in second, Splice the Main Brace is in third. In between horses, Southern Bridge, Excursion is out in the center of the racetrack. G-Bert starts to move forward from 5th. Still at the back, Super Flyover and Colonel Juan, the trailer, 8 lengths off the lead. Distract and Attack approaches the half-mile pole, 30-1, is on top, is up by that full length. Abuelo Nuno is ready to pounce here from second. Splice the Main Brace is tightly at the rail in third. G-Bird has made up some ground. Southern Bridge is the gray is there in 5th. Excursion losing some ground, gets passed by Super Flyover, the trailer Colonel Juan, 3 across the racetrack. Splice the Main Brace and Abuelo Nuno and Splice the Main Brace, they're head and head. Distract and Attack starts to lose some ground. G-Bird, Southern Bridge is back to 5th as they approach a quarter-mile left to go. Shoulder to shoulder here. Splice the Main Braces, game to the inside. Abuelo Nuno is trying to pass on by. They reach the top of the stretch. Splice the Main Braces got more. Abuelo Nuno is right up alongside as they approach a final furlong. Splice the Main Brace is trying to gut it out to the inside. Abuelo Nuno could not run by. Splice the Main Brace, a 16th to go, is a length clear. Splice the Main Brace is going to show a hard-fought victory here. Splice the Main Brace over Abuelo Nuno. Late run here, G-Bert.
Well, Splice the Main Brace gets the loose on the lead with jockey Paco Lopez. We've seen Paco be really effective here in Parks.
Paco's on a really good run, like everywhere, and especially here. This is a neat horse. Butch Reed had him obviously forever. Now over 400,000. Splice the Main Brace was his 8th career win.
Well, it was cool to see him win, but it was really fun to watch our board member, Dr. Steve Appel, cheer his horse home. And here he is in the winner's circle with his really cool shoes.
Love the whole outfit. Matches the silks.
Hold on. Look at the side. It says
I love them.
Wire to wire shoes on here. I'm big Smiling Stan in also.
Yeah.
You know?
So Paco rode a beautiful race.
Yes, he did. You know, he's so good on the front end. He gets him to relax. And, you know, turning for home, he just slipped through on the inside. He had plenty left for the end. Very exciting.
Love Dr. Steve Appel. Well, Monday was Halloween here. And, of course, there's not any kids on the backside, but the horses are like our kids, and they wanted to enjoy the holiday as well. So I went around trick-or-treating. Some like carrots, some like peppermints. Some were just interested in the orange bucket.
You were just handing them out rather than getting them? them, so you were giving them treats. You weren't tricking anybody. Is that about
exactly,
right?
yeah.
Very nice.
They were tricking me, but there was lots of treats to be given.
Very cool.
Well, we're going to head to our first break, but lots of Breeders' Cup to still talk about, plus some national races coming up on Let's Go Racing.
Forward is trying to reel in I Want to Win.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
The hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs. And billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Go Racing. And of course, it is Breeders' Cup Day, so let's talk about the Dirt Mile. We have two horses that made their way into the starting gate, both coming from Parks. Of course, we're talking about Simplification for trainer Antonio Sano. He was based down in Florida. Now he's a small string up here at Parks. And Informative for Uriah St. Louis.
So Simplification was the first horse to come from out of town for the PA Derby. And then, as you said, Antonio kept his stable up here. He's going to probably have 20 eventually. So he has been training at Parks, and of course Informative has always been here for Uriah, and he's won some big races, including the Iselin earlier this year, the Salvatore Mile last year at 79-1. It's always fun to see Uriah in the Breeders' Cup.
And we get a Parks jockey that's going to make his first Breeders' Cup start, Avner Adorno. I know him and his family are really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, no question. Look, they're both going to be long shots in this race. I mean, it looks like Gunite, Laurel River, Cody's Wish, those are the three horses. I like Laurel River myself, the Baffert horse. I love this last race, but it's a really, really good dirt mile.
My heart is rooting for the Parks horses. I like Cody's Wish. I love the story with Cody's Wish. With Cody that we've seen a lot of cool stories about, and Bill Mott knows how to get it done.
Yes, he does.
Well, let's keep talking about Uriah here. He made another start at Mahoning Valley. We're going to jump into some national races, and it was the Best of Ohio Endurance. They go a mile and a quarter. It's a long race, $100,000 for Ohio breds, and Uriah was the favorite with Forewarned.
Yeah, Forewarned won this race in 2019, 2020, and 2021, trying to go for 4 in a row.
And the really cool name, I Want to Win, is our second choice, a local horse for trainer James Jackson.
Yeah, and I Want to Win beat Forewarned at Thistledown back in August. Can he do it again?
Well, we'll certainly see. Here's the call, the Best of Ohio.
I Want to Win makes his move. Country Club Bobby and Modo No trying to stick with him. And here comes Forewarned. He makes his move now. So the stage is set here. I Want to Win trying to beat Forewarned again. Forewarned is trying to reel in I Want to Win. And his duo is now about 4 clear of Modo No, who's back in third. Country Club Bobby is fourth. Top of the stretch, and Forewarned and I Want to Win. They are nose to nose. I Want to Win inside, Forewarned outside. Modo No is game. He's back there 4 lengths behind, racing in third. I Want to Win. Forewarned, nothing gives here. These two are in battle. It's Forewarned outside. I Want to Win inside. I Want to Win wants to win. So does Forewarned. I Want to Win.
Well, it was 5 wins in a row for the 6-year-old. I Want to Win. Forewarned got second, but I Want to Win, a really solid local horse in Ohio.
It was a great race, Danny. I mean, I Want to Win got the lead, got first run on Forewarned, and just wouldn't give up the lead. I mean, Dexter Haddock had to go wide on the first turn, wide down the backstretch. I think he did everything he could. The horse had every chance, but look, Forewarned won 3 in a row and just missed winning 4 in a row. $937,000 now, lifetime, closing on $1 million for the 7-year-old Ohio bred.
Well, a really nice horse for the Uriah St. Louis barn. They've done really well with him.
Yes, they have.
And we're going to get to Belmont at Aqueduct. It's the Pumpkin Pie Stakes for fillies and mares going 7 furlongs, $120,000 purse, and our favorite is Boston Post Road for trainer Chad Brown.
Yeah, daughter of Quality Road on a pretty good run. Just missed winning her last 2, but Dr. B is the horse we're most interested in. Butch Reed, Cassius King, LC Racing. She seems to be getting better with each race, Danny. Now she's up to New York at 6-1.
Yeah, daughter of Liam's Map, a 4-year-old filly. Here's the call of the Pumpkin Pie.
And the leader is Oksana by a head. Boston Post Road now moves right alongside after a quarter in 23 and 2/5 seconds. Boston Post Road and Oksana, they are right together. Dr. B just behind them in third. Corey the Gray down at the rail. Then Movie Moxie, Glass Ceiling continues to trail. They're midway around the far turn. It is Boston Post Road and Oksana as Dr. B now makes her move on the outside. So it's 3 of them across. Corey runs in 4th. Glass Ceiling has moved up a spot into 5th. Movie Moxie is the trailer. The half mile in 47 seconds. Boston Post Road has the lead now. Boston Post Road by 2. Dr. B on the outside. Oksana is back running in 3rd. Glass Ceiling is in 4th. It is Boston Post Road, and on the outside, Dr. B. Boston Post Road with the lead. Dr. B is in 2nd, and it is Boston Post Road to win it.
And Boston Post Road getting the win. She's a big girl. You could see her. She almost towered over the field. Her ears were pricked. She was just waiting for Flavien Prat to ask her to go.
Yeah, and it's hard to beat those Chad Brown odds-on horses up in New York. But Dr. B ran the best race she's ever run, got a 94 buyer figure. I think they got to be really happy, and that she's going to win some nice races before this thing's over.
Oh, definitely. She was closing the gap. And pumpkin pie, I love pumpkin pie.
Everybody does.
And I heard Bruce likes his with ice cream.
Yes,
I never tried that.
Yes, he does, a la mode.
I like mine with a lot of whipped cream. Well, let's stay up at Belmont at the Big A. It's the Grade 3 Bold Ruler, $200,000 for our sprinters going 6 furlongs. And our favorite is on the last page. It's Running Son of a Gun for trainer John Toscano.
And we most recently saw him, Danny, running 3rd to Scaramouche here on the Gallant Bob on PA Derby Day. And our man Kendrick Carmouche picks up the map.
Chad Summers has our second choice, the number 1 Mararis. Kind of a hard name to say there.
Not an easy name to say, but comes off a pretty good 3rd and an optional claimer up at Saratoga.
Here's the call, the Bold Ruler.
The quarter was run in 22 and 2/5 seconds. It is Miras leading here by a head. On the outside and moving up there is Eastern Bay. In between horses, it's Grilly and Ben. Running Son of a Gun is on the far outside. Here comes Running Son of a Gun now to go up and grab a narrow lead. Running Son of a Gun is there. Grilly and Ben along with Steinbeck, and out in the middle of the track, here comes Eastern Bay. It is Running Son of a Gun. Eastern Bay down towards the rail. Grilly and Ben along with Factor It In. They come on for the finish, and it is going to be a photo finish.
Running Son of a Gun gets it done with jockey Kendrick Carmouche, who's in our Parks Racing Hall of Fame. We just had Hall of Fame Day here at Parks, and he's showing you why he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's as good as it gets. Love when we see Kendrick win the big races, and this is a son of, yes, gun runner, and he'll be very prominent today at the Breeders' Cup. A lot of good horses, including your PA Derby winner and your cotillion winner.
Yeah, more Breeders' Cup talk for us. We're going to head to another break, but stick around. We come back. We're also going to preview a race from next week, so lots more on Let's Go Racing.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Go Racing, and our Jockey and Trainer of the Week is brought to you by Turning for Home, our racehorse retirement program here at Parks. And Jockey of the Week, I have to go to Paco Lopez because he has been on a roll.
He has been on a roll when he comes here, when he goes, really, as we said, anywhere. Paco is hot.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to watch. He gets a lot out of a horse, and horses really run for him with that loose rein.
Yes, they did.
And our Trainer of the Week is congratulations to Richie Vega. He came back, he got a win. I know he's really excited about it.
Welcome back, Richie, one of the good guys here at the racetrack.
Absolutely. Let's get to some race recap from Belmont at the Big A. It was the Grade 2 Kelso going 1 mile, $300,000. This was a really fun race to watch. It looks like Baby Yoda's going to get the win.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Danny, and I know you got a story, Double Crown at 42 to 1, and you talked to who that morning?
I talked to the assistant trainer from Norman Cash. He told me this horse was going to run really huge. In fact, him and Eastern Bay, who got second in the Bold Ruler, they were feeling really confident. JD Acosta, one of the strongest finishing riders in the game, gave one heck of a ride. He said he followed Baby Yoda
bet
around.
This horse?
I did.
42 to 1.
I
Danny,
did.
Where's your? Let's say share some of the cash.
I'm buying
here.
lunch.
There
I'm
you
buying
go.
pumpkin pie for
All right,
everybody.
well done.
Well, let's talk more about the Breeders' Cup. Let's start with the Distaff. It's always one of the most exciting races to watch for sure for fillies and mares, and they go that mile and a half distance. We get our Kentucky Oaks winner. We have Nest. We have Malathat.
It's such a cool race. I mean, it's like the Classic, but for fillies, right? And as you said, Malathat and Nest will get most of the play. We have the last two winners at the Cotillion, Clariere, who won in 2021. And Society, of course, who wired the field this year. We also, I mentioned it before, we had the last two winners at the PA Derby and the Classic. So Pennsylvania's big day, well represented. I like Society in this race. I just think she's going to be loose in the lead again. I don't think they're going to pay attention to her. I think everybody's going to look at Malathat and Secret Oath and Nest. And I know one thing for sure, Society's going to be in front. The question is, can she go all the way against this caliber of horse?
I like that. I'm going to stick with my girl Nest. I think she's just proven that she's a step above. I like where your thoughts are with Society, and I would definitely use her with Nest. But I think Todd is coming in really loaded into this race.
He is indeed.
Well, let's talk about the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And of course, we've seen a lot of Parks horses go out there and do really well. Of course, Imperial Hint, Favorite Tale for trainer Lupe Preciado. And this year, I mean, we have Maniwa, Kamari, and of course, Aloha West.
Yeah, Aloha West won the race last year. Hasn't raced much this year. He's coming back to defend his title. But this is all going to be about Jackie's Warrior. There's only two really bad races in his life, Danny. He came in the Breeders' Cup. As a 2-year-old, it's just too far. Last year, I thought he got on the dead rail at Del Mar. I think he's going to run great. He's going to be favored, but you don't like him. You have another opinion.
I love Jackie, but my long shot play is going to be the number 4 American Theorem. He's the gray, shipping him from California for George Papadromo. I love his closing style. I think he just has this really powerful long stride, and I think he's going to catch him and make it really exciting with Joe Bravo, Jersey Joe Bravo.
Yeah, and I'd really like to see sentimentally Jackie's Warrior. Of course, he won the Gallant Bob here last year. It's the one thing he hasn't done is win a Breeders' Cup race. This will be the last race of his career. Love to see him win it for Steve Asmussen.
Well, Jackie's been one fun horse to watch. It was cool to get to see him here at Parks in the flesh. Well, we're going to talk more Breeders' Cup when we come back. Dick and I are going to give our picks in the Classic and a race here at Parks on Monday. So stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America. But we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then, place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now, and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action. Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Go Racing. In our news and notes, Dick and I are going to preview a race for Monday. We picked the 9th race. They're going to go 1 mile. Big purse to $62,000. So we've got some really nice horses. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of horses that run really nice buyer figures, 80s, 90s, very contentious race. This is not an easy call, but I was so impressed with Sugar Ray 2's race for Tyler Service back on the 3rd of October in that Bucks County when we had all those stakes races. I thought he was just super impressive. Yeah, the setup was there for him with the speed, but I just love the way he finished. He got a career best buyer of 96, but having said that, this is a difficult race.
Yeah, it is. This is a straight allowance race. A lot of top contenders, some ship-ins. I'm going to go with the ship-in, the #1 American Patrol for trainer Cal Lynch. When Cal Lynch and Michael Sanchez team up, they mean business. I like his sharp works that he's had. This was a horse, when I saw him run at Parks, he really impressed me. He won sprinting. Now he's stretching out to the mile, which he's been running at that distance, so I see no issue with that. He's by American Pharaoh. He's bred by Juddmonte, just top breeding. And Michael Sanchez, when he's on the lead, that equals a win.
Yeah, he's hard to beat. It's going to be a fun race on Monday.
He really does. Well, let's talk more about the Breeders' Cup because it's a big day out at beautiful Keeneland. They're great sunshine, and I know our very own Bruce Casella is having fun with his family, getting to celebrate with his wife. What races are you excited to see?
Well, there's a bunch of them, Danny. I mean, I think the Filly Mare Sprint starts it all off. That's at 11:50. That's the 3rd race on the card, but the first Breeders' Cup race. And CC's back to defend her title, and obviously we're both huge fans of Michael McCarthy. This is a much more difficult race than last year's race, much more contentious. Frank's Rocket is in here. Slammed is on a good run. Goodnight Olive is on a huge run for Chad Brown. Obligatory, I think it sets up for her. Really good race. Who do you like?
CC. Michael McCarthy, I'm a huge fan. I talk about him every chance I get. He's somebody that I wish we got to see run more out this way, but I think Victor Espinoza, I think they're going to time it perfectly and get the win.
It looks like the setup is there with all the speed. I think Obligatory is also, the setup is nice for her as well.
Definitely. And of course, it's always exciting. We see the international shippers come in. We've seen Japan do really well. And it's always fun watching Aidan O'Brien's Army go out and train. I'm really excited to see modern games for trainer Charlie Appleby.
Well, Charlie's been unbelievable in the Breeders' Cup. We all know what he did last year with 3 wins, 6 out of 11 lifetime. Modern Games won the 2-year-old race last year, but he didn't get paid. He's in the mile this time. I love him, and you're going to get paid, and he's going to win.
Well, I'm really excited to see it. Well, let's get to the marquee race, the Classic. It's the last race. It's the one with the big money. We're going to get to see our Kentucky Derby winner, Rich Strike.
Our PA Derby winner,
our
Taiba.
PA Derby winner.
It's such a cool race. Epicenter has been the hottest 3-year-old all year. But it really comes down to Life is Good. Out there on the lead, probably with Irad and Flavien Prat stalking on Flightline. Look, if Flightline runs like he's run all his other races, they're not beating him. I don't think they're beating him. The price will be not very good, but get ready for a show from Flightline.
Yeah, I'm all in on Flightline as well. I hear a lot of people doing a Flightline Rich Strike Exacta. They like the complimentary running styles. But we're going to be in for a really good show.
Yes, we are.
Well, if you can't get to Keeneland, make sure you come to Parks. Our simulcast is open. And if not, come join us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Of course, we race 12:25 is our post time. Well, that wraps it up for our Breeders' Cup show. Thanks for joining Dick and I, and we'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taiba has got the lead now. It's Taiba in the center of the racetrack, but Taiba is drawing away, and Taiba with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby.